when I got up and realized, well, when I was up, it was still dark outside, but right now it's really pretty outside. The sun is shining, makes me in the mood to maybe go walking because it's not really hot yet. So I decided I was going to share with y'all my recipe that I have for an energy. They're no bake little energy balls, and they're so simple to make. They do kind of have a lot of ingredients, but most of the stuff you're already going to have at home in your kitchen. You know, there may be a few things that some of you don't, but probably you could do without them if you didn't. But I wanted to share this to you because they're so quick, they're so easy, great snack to have on hand for just a snack during the day, or if you're going on a picnic, or if you're going to take a trip, and you can throw them in a little container, carry them with you, and they're really, really good. It's like I told you before, you know what? There's no need to make a snack that's healthy if it doesn't taste good, because you're not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it. So here we go. We're going to get started. First thing that we're going to do is I have 1 cup of almond butter. If you just cannot stand almond butter, feel free to use peanut butter or another nut butter, but the almond butter is going to be way better for you. So, and once you mix all this good stuff in with it, you're probably not even going to know it. So 1 cup of almond butter. I'm going to add in, what I've done here, I have a half a cup of raisins, and I use the golden raisins, if you can see them, just because I'm not a big raisin fan, and I do like these better. And Kyle, he loves the other kind better, but he likes these too. So what I did was, instead of just doing a cup of raisins or a cup of some other dried fruit, I did a half a cup of raisins, and then if you can see that, I'm doing a half a cup of dried blueberries, and that gives me my whole cup. You can, you know what, customize this to whatever you like, cranberries, apricots, whatever, you know, it might be. Now, I have a cup of mini chocolate chips, and the chocolate chips that I try to use, they're kind of hard to find where I live, but I do order them from Thrive. But I wanted to show you this little package. These are the chocolate chips that I use. They're called Enjoy Life, and they're just a higher quality, better brand of chocolate chips. And I'll just read you what it says. Okay, first of all, they're gluten-free, which I don't have a problem with gluten, but a lot of people do. And they're free from 14 allergens that you're gonna find in other brands of chocolate chips. And what those are, the allergens are wheat, peanuts, tree nuts, dairy, soy, egg, sesame, mustard, lupin, added sulfites, fish, shellfish, and I don't even know how to pronounce that one. You'll just have to get one and look for it. But anyways, I just wanted to show you this because they do cost a little bit more, but it's just a higher quality, better ingredient for your chocolate chips than some of the other brands. So it's just something, you know what, little FYI, do with it what you want, you know, keep using what you have, or you might want to try them out. So that's that. Okay, now we have about a half of a cup of slivered almonds. I'm gonna add that in there. And you know me, here's my cinnamon. I'm gonna throw it everywhere I can. I don't even have to use a measuring spoon because I can't really get too much. Now, this cinnamon is definitely an option. If you are not a cinnamon fan, don't put it in there. It will be fine. It will still be delicious. Okay. Now, vanilla. Love, love, love vanilla. And we're probably going to use about a tablespoon of vanilla. I don't usually ever measure that either because I just feel like you can't get too much vanilla. Okay, now we're going to add some chia seeds. And these are wonderful. They have fiber, they have antioxidants, they're full of all kinds of stuff. And once you eat these, once they get into your body, those little seeds kind of swell up, and so it gives you that full feeling, which is great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put about a tablespoon of the seeds in there. We're gonna do we'll go ahead and do 2 tablespoons. Let's do 2 tablespoons of that. And then just for a little extra chocolate flavor, I have some Dutch cocoa here. And I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna put in a couple of tablespoons of this cocoa. Like I said, just to kind of beef up that chocolate flavor. Okay, I'm gonna put that in there. Does anybody else out there, like, I always make a mess with this and powdered sugar. Like, before I'm done, it's everywhere. I don't know why. All right, I think I got everything here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this up, and once we get it mixed up, I'm gonna take this and I'm just going to let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes, okay? I just wanna let this sit. I want all this to get mixed up and to kind of meld together all these different flavors. So we're just gonna do that. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna let it sit, and in about 15 to 30 minutes, we'll do the very last step. Well, second to last step, and then we'll be done. I just about forgot, before we let it sit, we are going to add a half a cup of raw honey. Woo! I almost forgot one of the best ingredients, the raw honey. I don't know if you saw the video I did about having, what's in my pantry, but I have a video that talks about all the great benefits you can get from eating honey or just using honey in your recipes, but it needs to be the raw, unheated honey. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that was like liquid gold I almost left out of there. Now, that is looking better. I was like, well, that looks really dry. And you know me, I got to looking around. Sure enough, I hadn't put my honey in yet. So that's another good point. You know what? Pay attention to what your ingredients look like, because if it's something that you've made before, you kind of know like, something is off here. And you know that you got to go back and fix it. So now we really are, got this stirred up. We really are going to let this sit, and I told you wrong, that's probably a little bit too long. We're going to let this sit for probably about 10 minutes, I would say. And then we'll add the last ingredient and we'll roll them out. Okay, this has been sitting for about 10 minutes or so. So the last ingredient we're going to add is, yes, superfood. We have oats here, just a cup of regular old-fashioned oats. And then you got to get your muscles ready, because it is a little bit of a task mixing all this up. Actually, the easiest way to do this is to just put your fingers in there, use your hands, and get to mixing. But I won't do that today. I am going to have to get my hands sticky though, and because I've got to roll these out into balls. But the neat thing about this is, like I said, okay, this is a wonderful healthy snack. It's gonna fill you up. It's gonna give you energy. Now, you don't eat like 5 of them at a time, okay? Let's don't do that. These are really easy. You mix them up. You don't have to bake them. We're going to roll them out. Actually, yeah, we'll roll them out. And then we're gonna just put them in our container. And then you can store these. I'll store mine in the refrigerator just because they'll last longer. And we kind of like it a little bit cold anyways. So I'm gonna, I think I just about have this all mixed up. So you can see, looky there, looky there. Chocolate goodness. So who says healthy has to not taste good? These are gonna be delicious. After you add your oats in, you wanna let this sit for about another 10 minutes, okay? You just wanna give those oats time to absorb all that goodness that you've just put them in there with. So we're gonna let this sit for about another 10 minutes, and then we're gonna roll them out. Okay, we've let our oats absorb all that goodness of that honey and chocolate and all that good stuff we put in there. So now what I did was I just got a little scoop that's gonna kind of help me just to try to keep them about the same size. You can just do them like that if you want to, which it might actually, I think I might. Just do them like that. You don't actually have to roll them out. That might be a little bit too big. Let's see. I know Kyle will really like them like that. Let's just go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and roll them a little bit. But at least this will help me to keep them about the same size. I do like them better in a ball shape. Okay. I normally do roll them in balls, but I thought, I'll just try this and see if it works any better, but it really doesn't for me. So we're back to the old faithful. I don't know if you've ever done stuff like this and you try to make it into a ball and it just falls apart and it's awful. But these, they will form in a ball really, really easy, and they'll stay in a ball. You can just put it in a container like this. You could put it in a container like this and put these in your fridge, or as you'll see, I'm gonna have more than will fit in this container. So you can take some of them and go ahead and put them in the freezer. And then you already have some made up for another day. Maybe when you're not in the mood, but you really wish you had some to eat. So you just pull them out of the freezer, let them thaw, and there you go. And like I said also, most of these ingredients you're gonna have in your kitchen, in your pantry. For the most part, the ones that you don't, you probably can improvise with a different ingredient, just like say your chocolate chips. You know, maybe you don't have mini chocolate chips. Well, you can take your regular chocolate chips and you can just chop them up a little bit. And the reason that you wanna do that is because, the main reason we use mini ones in this is because, you know, you want your chips to be spread out, okay? You want them to be, when you take a bite of this, you want to be able to have several of them in one bite. If you just use one big chocolate chip, you know, if you use the regular size ones, then you're not gonna have chocolate chips in every bite like you will with these mini chocolate chips. So, no worries though. If you don't have mini chocolate chips, just take the ones that you have, break them up a little bit with a knife, and then there you go. You have chunks of chocolate. And as far as the dried fruit goes, you really don't even have to add it, okay? If you don't have any dried fruit, if you don't have any raisins, craisins, anything like that, you don't have to add it. Just leave those out. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take, okay, this is like a necessity in my house. I don't know about you, but parchment paper, can't live without it. I love parchment paper. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take this, fold it, we're gonna lay it on top, and now I'm gonna do another layer and it won't stick. That's why I love it. If you have wax paper do the same thing, or you could even use foil. If you don't have any wax paper or parchment paper, you just don't want to use anything like a paper towel because, yes, this is sticky. It's kind of a little wet right now. And if you put this on a paper towel, it is definitely going to stick to the paper towel. And that's what we're trying to avoid. So that's why I just love parchment paper. You can use it when you're baking, with your cookies, with any, you know, even when you're making granola, anything like that, you can line your pan with it and it just is so easy for cleanup. You just take that, throw it away, throw it in the trash, you're done. Awesome. Look how rich that looks, okay? That dark, 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 it looks dark chocolate and it's just so rich tasting. Honestly and truly, when you eat these, you really kind of feel like you're cheating because they taste so good. Oh, they're so good. I don't know about you, but I say, look at this. That is like a little bitty baby one. You know what I say? Woo! Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I say. I'm sorry y'all, but I couldn't help myself. And the way I look at it, it's just a reward. You know what? I made this whole bowl. That one little thing, that's just my reward. And look at that. Woohoo! I did fit them all in there. So we're gonna take this, I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator because this is plenty for us to last us for a couple of weeks, so I don't need to put it in the freezer. Who am I kidding? Well, yeah, they might be close to a couple of weeks if I really guard them and divvy them out. As with all my videos, I really do hope that this was helpful for you today, and I hope it encourages you to go into your kitchen, look into your cabinets, pull out your ingredients, and make you some of these delicious, nutritious balls of energy. You will be glad that you did. Hope you have a great day. Lord bless you.